Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Moxie Inferno, and this is my team builder for week 6 of season 6 of the CPC. This week I am playing Techno, coach of the Carolina Pantherians. So Techno is very good at Pokemon, so that's a little bit scary. He won the NPL Minors, and then he won the Minors champion versus Majors champion game this past season. So he's definitely very good at Pokemon. So that'll make this matchup a little bit trickier, as he definitely is a solid builder and a solid player. But I feel like if I can build a good team and I can just play smart and play safe, really just play smart, then I feel like I can still come out on top. I do have a good roster myself, but he also has some scary mons, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky. But yeah, let me just get into the matchup. So originally he actually did draft a round 1 Bruxish, which was kind of funny, but he did end that little experiment and dropped it for Linoon. So that's his first pick. So he's got Linoon, Megazard X, Excadrill, T-Tar, Crobat, Chestnut, Alolan Ninetales, Heliolisk, Tentacruel, Slurpuff, and Hypno. So the mons I'm really expecting are the Zard, Drill, T-Tar, Bat, Ninetales, and Heliolisk. The Tentacruel, solid, maybe, Chestnut I don't think is a great matchup. Linoon I don't think is a great matchup. Slurpuff, I have like 2 steel types. Medi gets Fake Out and Bullet Punch, so I don't think Slurpuff has a great matchup. Hypno, I kind of think there's some value to Hypno. Like, it could come as a decent Medi track, as really outside Hypno, his team gets really crushed by Medi. Like, nothing switches into both stabs. I mean, Crobat can switch into the fighting stab, then you're still afraid of switching into his Zen Headbutt, so that's scary. So Hypno definitely could come, but I feel like he might have some better Monster Brain, but it definitely does have some value. So I'll just get into my team though. First off, you can see my Medicham right here. I'm just max speed Jolly for the Zard. Dual Stab really hits everything, and then Fake Out plus Bullet Punch allows me to help check some stuff. And he has a lot of setup mons like the Zard, like the Linoon, like maybe even like a Dragon Dance T-Tar, like Belly Drum, Unburden, Slurpuff. So definitely a lot of faster mons that I'm gonna need to hit with my dual priority. So that could be really helpful. Like Fake Out plus Bullet Punch could do around half to Crobat, so if I can get rocks up, that can really help me weaken that thing down, not even have to outspeed it to effectively check it. So that could be really helpful. It's just a good breaker, and this mon just hits really hard. It's pretty simplistic EV spread here, but it's really all I need this week. Don't need to get super bulky and super complicated. Next we got Courtney, the Klefki here, Spikes, Defog, Flash Cannon, and Psyshock. I have Defog just because I'm fearing Toxic Spikes from the Tentacruel. And if Tentacruel does come, it does bring the T-Spikes, which definitely do have some value versus my team. I do have a Grounded Poison type in the form of Drapion, but outside of that, they're still pretty viable, and they do hit 4 of my 6 mons this week, and I don't want them poisoning my bulky 2 right here, being Tangle and Marshtomp. So if I can not allow T-Spikes to stay up, that's good. I went in Foul Play last slot over Defog just so I had something to hit the Excadrill and the Zardex for some damage, and not be totally scared out by them. And like, if I need to stay in, I can, or even if I think that they're gonna come in, I can Foul Play on the switch and do a decent chunk. But I felt like Defog overall for the team is better, and I feel like you do have ways to deal with the Drill and the Zard, so I'll take that risk there. Spikes I really like this week because his only mon in the air is Crobat, and Zard when it's not Mega yet, but once it's Mega, then he'll take Spikes. Then Flash Cannon and Psyshock really hits, for the most part, everything. Everything that I need to, really, just barring the Zard and the Excadrill, which I don't stay in versus anyways, so it's kind of alright. Psyshock does a good chunk to that Crobat, does a good chunk to the Tentacruel, which is nice. The Spidef still can live 2 hidden power grounds from a Life Orb, Alolan Ninetales after I take rocks. And then this defense here with this HP allows me to take an Earthquake from a max attack Adamant T-Tar after rocks, and then special attack allows me to 2KO. It allows me to 2KO the Tentacruel with Psyshock after it takes rocks. That is if he has Black Sludge. So that was a little bit complicated for all my EV spread here, but I felt like they all have somewhat of a purpose. So yeah, this is just a good Pokemon, good switch into the Ninetales, which otherwise I don't really have a good switch in. Heatran to an extent, but I don't really want to bring in Heatran early in the game, which you'll see why when I get to that set. We next got a bulky Tangle here, really just a nice fat mon. This thing can take hits really well. The defense, so it can take a Flare Blitz from max attack Adamant Zard from full. That way I'm not necessarily scared out. Like, I can live any one hit and then get throw off a Toxic, or probably Leech Seed, or probably throw a Toxic, just so that I don't just so if I do have to sack this thing off, like I don't need something to stay in and take a hit to take health away from the Zard. That way just Zard loses health damage from a Toxic. But either way, I do still have options for going with either of these two moves versus Zard versus whatever. Then I do have two offensive grass stab moves this week. It's just nice to get back health. I can drain back some things and like drill and like Heliolisk and Tentacruel and stuff, and just get back some health. And then the Leaf Storms there just hit harder. Lets me hit the Extra Drill fairly hard. Lets me hit T-Tar even harder. If I need more damage on the Ninetales, Heliolisk, or just like whatever, he probably won't think that I'm gonna have it. So it definitely could be nice just to have something to hit pretty hard and do actually some good damage. And then even after that, once I'm at the -2, I can still stay in and just chip things down with Toxic and with Leaf Seed. So I'm fine with lowering my my special attack to be able to still just chip things down. I could have ran something like Knockoff or even Hidden Power Rock for Zard in that last slot, but I felt like Leaf Storm could definitely be pretty helpful just to get a big hit on some things. Next we got Marsh Stomp, another Eviolite Mon, and also one thing that is really comforting in the matchup about me bringing these two bulky Mons here with their Eviolites is his only knockoff user is Tentacruel, and he does have Trick Hypno, which could be a thing. But outside of that, like the Eviolites are staying on these two boys, which is great. So Marsh Stomp is a good bulky pivot, helps me take on the Zard fairly well. Rocks, EQ, Ice Punch, Toxic, I really don't need Waterfall at all. Like EQ hits all the things harder than Waterfall would. Like Zard, Drill, T-Tar, they're all weak to Earthquake. And really like Heliolisk, Earthquake, Tentacruel, Earthquake, and all things that both are neutral, and all things that both my stats would be neutral against. EQ hits hard anyways, and then Ice Punch hits like Chestnut and Crobat and stuff. And Toxic could be helpful for like stuff like Chestnut, for the T-Tar, for the Hypno maybe. So it's really nice to just be able to throw off more Toxics, and I felt like I didn't really need too much else in that last slot, and Toxic could be useful there. The defense is so it can live. With this defense, I can most likely live a Declaw from a +3 Adamant Mega Zard. He only has a 6.3% chance to OHKO, so I feel pretty good with those odds. And the reason that I didn't invest more is because this 60 Spadaf allows me to live 2 Hyperboreas from a Life Orb Heliolisk, so I guess if I need this thing to switch into that, which I might, it does get Grass Knot, but he might not bring the coverage, or maybe like still just having as much Spadaf as possible could be helpful. So this thing can still just switch in and take a hit, and it could be a nice pivot into that, so it's just helpful to have some bulk there. And next we got Todd, the Air Balloon Heatran. So I want to keep this thing around for the late game and really not bring it in till the late game. That way I still have my my balloon intact. That way I can evade a ground hit from stuff like Excadrill, from stuff like Zard, because I don't think Zard is going to bring Brick Break this game. So basically, if he doesn't, then Zard's not going to be able to hit me until he pops my balloon in some way. I mean, Dragon Claw does something, but does not do too much at all. I can take any one hit from T-Tar because Earthquake won't be able to hit me. This thing, just having that balloon is really helpful and really supportive. So if I can just keep the balloon around and not bring in Tran, that's why I don't have Stealth Rock on this, why I have it on Marsh Stomp, and also my Garchomp. But I don't want rocks in this thing because I don't want to have a reason. I don't want to have a reason to bring this thing in early, if that makes sense. I want to keep this thing and just keep it around for the late game. So the moveset: Earth Power, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, and Magma Storm. The first three moves are pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple, just coverage and stuff. The last move, I kind of debated some things. I felt like Magma Storm could be the most helpful. I wanted some way to hit the Hypno pretty hard. If I have that thing Toxic, I can trap it and definitely beat it. I considered Sunny Day to boost my fire moves, but it felt like Sunny Day in that last slot, which would boost my Flamethrower. But I don't even do go is Spadaf Hypno still, so I felt like that wasn't really that helpful. And also Sunny Day could be helpful to get rid of the sand from T-Tar, or even the hail from Ninetales. But then like you can switch out and bring it back in later. So I felt like that it wasn't that practical. The speed, second out speed, max speed, Adamant T-Tar. I'm not sure how much speed he's gonna bring on Tar, but just really that's the only speed I felt like I might have needed. I don't think it'll be Jolly, so yeah. The Spadaf allows me, or the Spatak allows me to 2KO max HP T-Tar after rocks with Flash Cannon. That's in the sand, so basically he might try to switch that thing in on a fire move. I can just Flash Cannon, and he might think that I'm less offensive than I am, which case Flash Cannon can 2KO, which is awesome. And also then this HP allows me to live a Brick Break from +1 Jolly Zard. So if he's at +1, I can, if I'm at full, I can take any one hit. Unless if he's adamant, then he has a chance to kill me. But still, that's a lot of ifs. So if I just keep this thing around, which I'm going to, then keep the balloon intact, then this could be a great check to the Zard and also to like drill and T-Tar. So it's great to have in the late game. Last but not least, we have a Scarfed Chomp with a pretty weird EV spread. Moveset's just pretty simplistic, just dual stab, and then Outrage and Stealth Rocks. I didn't really need a last move. Maybe Stone Edge for Crobat, but Stealth Rock I feel like could be more helpful. Like he might be able to default with Crobat, or like I guess with Zard, but probably not. Or like spin with Action Control, that's more valuable too. So if we get a Rocks with Marshtomp early game, he gets rid of them, then I can bring in Garchomp later to get them up. Or bring in Garchomp early, then Marshtomp gets them up later, you know, whichever order. I just want Rocks up really to help me weaken down that Zard and just help me weaken down the Crobat, chip down his team. Because if I can get up Rocks, that'll help me possibly win with this thing later in the game, or win with my Medicham possibly. So really those are the two mods that are going to win the game. So I really just want to chip things down, and making sure I get up Rocks can be really helpful. Speed is just enough for the max speed Jolly Zard to make sure I outspeed that thing at +1. And then this defense actually allows me to alleviate Dragon Claw from Jolly Mega Zard. So like if he's in against like Marshtomp or something, I might want to click Dragon Claw. Or if I'm in, like if I'm in against Tangela and I want to switch out right into Garchomp, if he Dragon Dances, that's fine. I'll still outspeed at +1. If he Dragon Claws on that switch, I can still live it. Like from full, which is great, and I can take a Blitz too, and that'll and with Rough Skin that'll do a good chunk of damage as well. So this thing outspeeds the Charizard. Assuming that he's Jolly, which I think he will be, then I can take any one hit, and this thing is actually just a really nice check, and in some ways a pivot into that Charizard. So I really have this, the Marshtomp, and the Heatran help me check the Charizard, and then the Drill. For Drill, like I have the Balloon Tran. Marshtomp's pretty fat. Tangle is pretty fat as well, so I feel like I have some good checks to his offensive mons. It does have like some other sweepers like the Lining and the Slurpuff, which are a little bit scary. Klefki can help deal with those, Tran can help deal with those, Medius, Fake Out, and Bullet Punch, so that'll help versus those. So I feel like I do have a lot of checks to a lot of sub sweepers. It's just going to be playing around them and dealing with them properly. So this is the team I got this week, and I'll see you guys with the battle that'll go up tomorrow. Peace out.